Hi, Scotty here, demondemon.com, and this is a quick post specifically for promoting a personal blog or a low volume blog using PPC. Now, over the years, those of you that watch my videos or visit demondemon.com will know that I use SEO primarily. However, there is a time and a place for PPC and something that I call micro marketing. And this is used at a time typically when you're not actually looking to drive sales to a particular product, in which case it's all about, putting in as much money as you can that provides you with the best ROI, whatever that might be, through the right channels. This is about getting a personal blog, typically one with under 1,000 visitors a day, though quite likely one with under 100 visitors a day, getting it found, getting your content found and shared, and building up your name and your reputation based around good content. So it's not based around driving people to your offer, it's based around driving people to your good content and spending very low volumes of money to do that. Now, the thing is with most PPC providers, such as Google and with Adwords, and Facebook with their promoted posts and their Facebook page promotion, and Twitter with their promotion methods, is they're not really gauged towards that sort of advertising. They are pretty much either to get likes if it's Facebook, or followers if it's Twitter, or sales if it's Google. So what we have to do is we're subverting what they think our intentions are. And what our intentions are is to build up using just a few tens of dollars a month, depending on how often you post on your blog. Let's say you're posting on your blog. What I tend to do is put between 4 and 8 posts on my blog a month, of which I'll treat roughly 50% as major posts, and for the other 50% of filler posts. There may be, so the major posts will be on the topic that the blog is about. I'll go and look into some detail, there'll be some research behind it. The posts will typically be longer, they may include an embedded video. They'll certainly have citation and sources in there, lots of outbound links and whatever, and I'll look to promote those posts in communities of interest and all the rest of it. A minor post might just be something I found of interest, a little bit of news snippet, a little bit of something I've curated from another site. Not so big. Now I take those big posts and I might promote those, and I might give myself a budget of $20 per post to promote them. Something as small as that. So for the entire month, I probably go under the $100 mark. I may even go under the sort of $60 to $80 mark. It depends how many I do. Now, I've gradually come to the conclusion that promoting at this low level really does help. And the way I'm going to start here is with this first post, I'm looking specifically at Google, then I'll be looking at Facebook, then Twitter, and then other places like StumbleUpon and Reddit and other places you can advertise as well. But let's start with Google AdWords. Find new keywords is where so we've gone to the keyword planner, google.com/ko/keyword planner, and then you can put home after that. Everything after the question mark, as you know, is unique to your particular search on that day, so you don't need to put it in. So search for new keywords. Let's say the keywords I want to look for are blog promotion. I type that in. Now, if you've already got your content, which in some cases, in many cases, you may already have done, and you've already posted on your blog, you can put the URL of where you posted it to on there. I tend not to use this category option here because what it does, it gives you a subset of the results. And what we're going to do straight after we've done this is we're going to sort the results ourselves. So let's get these ideas. Couple of things to look out for here. We're filtering negative keywords. We're looking only on Google. We're only in the English language, and it's United Kingdom and United States searches we're looking at. That doesn't rule out other English-speaking searches, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, places like that. First thing I'd look at is the volume trend for the overall keyword group, which tells you their seasonality. This tells you that December is pretty low, and where we are now is actually pretty high. May, June, July is pretty high. September, October is pretty high as well, but December's a real low. But this isn't particularly seasonal. The variation is only sort of 10 or 15%, so it's not a great deal of variation. Okay, I'm going to click keyword ideas. That's going to give me the list of keywords. Okay, and I think there's 800 keywords there. Now I'm not going to go through all these pages immediately. What I'm going to want to do is click download. I'm going to download those keywords, as Excel CSV. Off it goes, and when it's downloaded, I will get this pop up if I go into Excel. Now you may have a couple of extra columns past here that are used should you already have a campaign with those keywords running, but the first A, B, C, D, E, F, the first 6 columns are the ones you're really interested in. In fact, you don't really need column C. That just gives you the currency. So let's have a look. So this is the export that Google give you with just a couple of columns at the end cut off because they're not really useful. They don't have anything in. So we have the keyword, currency, average monthly searches, exact match only, and we're not going to use exact match. Google, we don't think uses exact match anymore anyway, so having tens of thousands of, or sometimes even hundreds of thousands of keywords to get those weird and obscure long tail phrases isn't really necessary. If you've got more than 500 to 1,000 keywords you promote at any one time for any one campaign, you're probably over-egging it, unless it's a very wide-ranging set of products you're doing, or your supermarket or your Amazon or whatever. The days of having tens of thousands of keywords in a campaign are probably gone. You probably divide that by 10 now, because Google's much better at doing broad match. Even it looks like when you choose exact match. That's an argument for another day. Competition, this is a ratio from 0 to 1. Now this is an odd one. Competition isn't how much you're going to have to spend, it's how many people are competing for that keyword. And that can mean the keyword is still low ball. You can have a lot of people competing but only prepared to compete in terms of pence. Or you can have 1 or 2 people competing, but they're competing at £10, £20, $20, $30. So this is just this is in terms of the volume. This is in terms of, this is some sort of idea that Google give you, which in my experience is wildly out of how much you should bid. I've never known this to be anything like the truth. Normally you double this to get the bid right. So promote a blog, you're looking at probably £8. What you did, what you could do, for instance, you could say I'm going to use keyword promote a blog, and I know I'll bid £4 or £4.18 or whatever. And the minute you put it up there, Google will assess your advert, come back and say below first page bid. Almost guarantee you, whatever, if you choose these, it will say below first page bid for all of them. Now look at some of the prices here. How to market your business, £6, which is that's $6.36 is almost exactly $10. This is about $6. This is about about $10. Some of these keywords are incredibly expensive. Some of these search volumes are very much too low. Some of these competition levels are very much too high, and some of these keywords are totally inappropriate. Oh dear! And you've got 800 of them. What are we going to do? Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the columns, click filter. Then I'm going to set myself some rules. So I only want those that have, I'm going to click number filter, greater than. If there's not 50 searches a month, I'm not going to bother having it in my campaign. If the competition is greater than 0.6, number filter, greater than, let's say 0.66, that's roughly 2/3. I don't want it in my campaign. And if the suggested bid is number filter greater than 1.25, I've put 0.25 there for some reason. 1.25, I'm not going to have it in my campaign. And that's reduced the number down quite dramatically, actually. That's not done it right. I've done it greater than, haven't I? Number filter less than, that's it. Number filter less than 1.25. There we are. Okay, so that doesn't give us very many. You can have blogging for dummies, get paid for blogging, how to post a blog, free blogs, online blogs for free, start your own blog. So you immediately see that that's only given me, 6 results. That's not enough. So let's alter some of these. Greater than, I want that to be less than 0.66. Let's see how that pans out. Okay, that's better. And that's okay. I'm actually going to increase this. That's greater than, let's make that greater than 100, which is about 3 or 4 searches a day. Okay, so now we've got this quantity here. Forget these numbers here, that I put them in earlier when I was filtering this spreadsheet out before I went on camera. But let's have a little look what this tells us. So some of these keywords will not be of any use to us whatsoever. If we're trying to get people to come to our blog based on what they want to learn to do with promoting a blog, things like free blog templates aren't, they're just going to go to our blog. We're going to pay quite a lot of money for somebody to go to our site and go, well, that isn't what I want, and leave. And by the time they've decided to leave, we've spent $1.50 on getting them there. We don't want to do that. So what I've done here is I've put in this column G, I've gone through already and said, well, these are the sort of people we might want on our site. And it's sort of, again, how cheap are they and what's the competition like? So if it's below 50p, and I will underbid quite a lot on this and accept a low position in terms of position in there. If it's under 50p, that's okay. If competition is below 0.3, that's brilliant. And what is a blog? Yeah, I quite like the idea of that. That's a good one. Blogging tips, well, it is specifically blogging tips I'm given. How to promote a blog is blogging tips. Free ads, well, I'm showing people how to get very cheap ads. Not necessarily free, but again, that's pretty good. Blogging for beginners, again, it's how to blog. And how to promote a tweet, that might be a good one for later on, but not for this one. But for blog ads, again, that's exactly what we're doing. It's an ad, how to advertise your blog, as opposed to, I suppose, how to put ads on your blog, sort of AdWords rather than AdSense. So there's a few there. And if I just then, I'm going to turn this filter off. If I put this filter back on, and I only want those that I've said, that I've manually gone through, and I say, oh, I'm happy with that. That gives me this little group here. 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 keywords I'm going to use. The search volume is 79,290 in total. The average competition is 0.28, so it's very low competition. And the average suggested bid is 0.88. Now, I'm going to break this into 2 keyword groups, so when we set it up you'll see how I've done 2 keyword groups in those that are definitely below 50p or about 80 cents and those that are above. So I've done, this is keyword group 1, keyword group 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. And that means low price, higher price, higher price, higher price, low price, higher price, higher price, lower price, lower price. So it's 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And I'm going to have 2 different keyword groups, and I'm going to promote them ever so slightly differently when I come to Google. So when we come back in a moment, we'll be inside Google setting up the adverts. Back inside Google, we're starting a campaign. We're calling it Blog Promote Test. We're going to use all features, Search Network with Display Select, which is Google Search Network and Google Display Network. What is the difference? Well, the difference is when you go to google.com or google.co.uk or google.anything, you are going to their specific, you're going to Google. And you'll notice around the edge of that there aren't any paid adverts on that page. Unless you actually perform the search, it comes back with local results that will have some pictures of the local businesses in them. Normally the Google page has no prompts, no images around it. No images you can click on. If you use their AdSense network, you go through their partner network, and that is sites that Google partner with through the AdSense that will then display adverts, and those adverts could be images and not text. There's various sizes, you know, the 240 by 240 and the 72 by 960 and all those different image sizes you can have, and they are there placed, and the webmaster, whoever owns the site, gets 60% of the cost of the click when somebody clicks on it, and earns money by driving people to the website and making money with AdSense. You should know what that is. If not, I'll provide a link on the post on demondemon.com. Now, there is a big difference in terms of the market intelligence you get. If you use a text-only advert and allow it to come up in standard Google results, you will get a full set of market intelligence. What keywords you rank for, where you rank for those keywords, what page, in other words, what page you're on, how many clicks you get, all that market intelligence will come up because Google are providing those results themselves. If, however, you use images, you won't appear in standard Google results. You'll appear on partner network, partner sites who have AdSense, and the market intelligence you get will be very much abridged and incomplete. Now, here's the problem you have. Generally speaking, if your image is even slightly good, you'll get a much better response from having an image for somebody to click on than you will do from a text. But you won't get the market intelligence from an image that you will from a text. The answer, you probably worked it out, is to run sample campaigns to get your market intelligence using text. And once you've worked out what works in terms of the words and what phrases you should be going for and keywords you should be bidding on, how much you should be bidding, switch out to images and then keep an eye on the metrics to make sure there's no fundamental changes between the two. It's a little bit more complex. All I'll be showing in this first one is I'll be selecting both networks because I'll be swapping at some point, but I'll just be putting in text ads. I'm just going to be in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, UK and US, only English. Because I've selected Canada there, it also says I could use French as well, because obviously French is spoken in Canada. I'm going for a default bid of 30 pence, which is about 50 cents, and a budget of $3 per day, which is £3 a day, which is about $5. I can use these ad extensions, which is pretty handy. You can add phone numbers or site links or whatnot to a clickable link within your advert, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to keep this nice and simple. Then you can have the timing. Now, there's a peak time for clicks, and I don't really want people clicking when they're at work. I'd rather have people when they're at home clicking. I've plenty of time to read around my site, not just have to click off because their boss walks past them or something like that. But all that being said, I'm targeting from Australia through UK, through the United States, and the time zones between them are so varied that it's almost impossible to pick a specific time set that's true for everybody. What I could do, of course, is to set up several sub-campaigns, one for each country. I could do that, but for time's sake, I'm not in this case. But bear in mind, you could do that. So you could set all these. Starting today, not finishing whenever. Ad delivery, ad rotation and frequency capping. So by default, Google optimized for clicks. So we don't have a tracking pixel or tracking code on our website for these to see where the person goes when they get on our website. Google will follow it using the standard analytics code, but it doesn't have a tracking pixel which sees if they follow it to cart or through whatever my offer is. It's not going to track that outside the normal Google Analytics, which I'll have to look through my Google Webmaster Analytics. Optimize for conversion, so if I'd put the tracking pixel on there, it could do that for me a little bit better. Rotate ads more evenly. If I've got several ads and want to rotate them and I want to check and see which ones are performing and which ones aren't, that's handy. Rotate indefinitely, and it means that even if lower performing ads aren't doing so well, they don't optimize. It may be you want to do that for a test. It may be because you have a specific product or audience that fatigues quite quickly with a particular advert. Advert fatigue is something that happens when people see the same advert over and over again and they get sick of seeing it, and they actually become to dislike the product and the brand as a result of seeing the same advert too often. No cap on impressions, so you can have the number of times in impressions. You don't pay per impression, CPM, you only pay per click. Google do get a little bit wary though if your impressions per click gets too low. If it gets below about 0.1%, so every 1,000, it takes more than 1,000 impressions to get a click, you will see that your costs seem to go up and your quality score seems to go down. Now you have various other things, dynamic search ads, so you can then use your website content to target ads, so Google will flip through your website content. I think this describes it better than I could. Your website domain to target your ads, and then it sort of dynamically, it actually reads what's on your website and it knows, it can work out where it should go as opposed to keywords. And campaign URL options advanced, so you can have whether different, depending on how they arrive, whether they're sent to different sub-pages or subdomain, well, no, it will just be sub-pages of your site. We're not going to do any of that. All very handy if you set up actual specific marketing. So we're going to have 2 ad groups. The first one is going to be, we're going to call it, if it lets me in, thank you, it's going to be called ad blog promo low cost, and the headline is going to be, this will appear in blue and this will change as I do it. The headline for this is going to be promote your personal blog. Simple, effective and cheap. No, simple, effective blog promotion. And you can see it's just filled that up nicely. A free advice on micro marketing and PPC. It's not a free advice. Micro marketing and PPC for your blog. And then I'm going to put the display URL in there, and it's going to be www.demondemon.com. And then you would put which I want to show up there, and then I'll put the final URL in there, which will be the destination URL. Okay, and I'm going to set up one of these, two of these adverts very similarly. One I'm going to put for, if I just drag this back across, one is going to be for these low ball and one for these higher cost ones, and then we're going to get promoting, and once I've done that little bit of promotion we'll come back and we'll do the third part of this. See you in a second. Hi, we're back, and I put in the low cost stuff, the stuff that should be under 50p or 75-80 cents, and straight away we've got this below first page bid for everything, just as I said. Now here is the data directly from Google: 26p, 28p, 27p, 31p. Estimated first bid: £1.25, £1.50, £3, £2.75. Sorry, it's not that one, it's this one. But those three, that is 10 times. This is 31p, £3, 28p, £1.50, 26p, £1.25. So about 5.5 times greater, 5.5 times greater, and nearly 10 times greater. So what the initial stuff was about, I have no idea. It's not even ballpark. It's not even close. You're out by a factor of 1,000%, Google. But you always have been, and this has always been the case with Google. Very, very poor data they give you. The only reliable data is the stuff you get yourself from practice by putting money into it. That's probably deliberate. It's to get people to waste money getting their market intelligence right. Google are like that. They're very, very money orientated. They're certainly not interested in being service orientated. It's this sort of nonsense which has been around since I've been doing PPC now since Google. This has always been wildly wrong, and always wrong the same way. The estimated value is always a tiny fraction of the real value. If it was wrong, just randomly wrong, you get just as many that were lower than the higher, but that's not the case. The amount it entices you through the door with is always nothing like, it's always a lot smaller than the amount that it really is. They're always wrong the cynical way around, which leads me to believe that this is a bit of a Ponzi scam by Google. It's to entice you in and hit you. Once you're committed to PPC, once you're emotionally involved in once you're emotionally committed to doing PPC, they basically put the price up tenfold. A good drug dealer's way, give you the first, entice you in and then slap the price up. Anyway, they've always been that way. Shouldn't go on. The point is, I'm not going to pay more than that, but we'll see where it goes. It's going to take a while for the ad to be approved, and then we shall see what these metrics are in a few days' time when we do part 2 of the post. For now, I'm just going to stick this video up. Be aware, if you just watch this video and it's still in June 2015, this is an ongoing thing. There'll be other posts added on Facebook and Twitter. There'll be posts added, extra videos added. So you're seeing, if you're watching it during June 2015, you're seeing the ongoing process. If you're looking back after June 2015 and July or later 2015, then there should be some links on each blog post, and probably I might even turn it into a little ebook so you can download the whole lot and read it in one swoop. But for now, this is sort of the ongoing experiment. I hope you guys see some value in it. It's something I'm really interested in doing anyway. SquittyDemondemon.com, signing off.